Salam and hello again. Today I'm just gonna try to quickly jump in. It's the third video. I don't need to do the introduction anymore. So we'll just be discussing the third complaint that he says teens share a lot, and that is my family is a disaster. If only I could get my parents off my back, I might be able to live my life. It seems that they're constantly nagging me, and I can't ever seem to satisfy them. So I understand if this is one of your complaints. I am a 14-year-old myself, and um, I can imagine my grade or age related friends saying this. Okay? And I can see why. Because we think and we imagine in our world that if only I had duplicates of me for my sibling, for my mom, for my everyone, then we would have such a peaceful life. So I'm going to start with saying, look at you. Because this is something that, you know, I think it's about humility, maybe? Yeah, so we think that our family is a disaster, but, we're kind of included in our family, so maybe we should realize that we're part of that disaster. So I have this counselor, and whenever she sends an email, they have the signature at the bottom that says, "Be the change you seek." I think this is a great place to insert this. So if you're part of this family that's a disaster, number one, if you think that your whole family is a disaster except for you, you're wrong. Okay, that's impossible. Unless you can question every single member in your family is, do I have any negative aspects to myself? And then if nobody writes anything, then great, you're good. Okay? Then yeah, maybe your family is a disaster and you're perfect, but I doubt that will happen. Okay. So after you find this list of negatives from everybody that they think you have, then you'll realize that okay, so I am part of that disaster. Okay, so be the change you seek. Start with yourself. Okay? See the negatives and try to change those, and then you'll see that somehow the whole disaster around the family is going to unturn. If there's something that I've realized, it's usually when they have a teenager in a family, then that teenager is the cause of most of the disruption of peace. Okay, so what I would do if my family was a disaster, which my family is not, I've realized that really whenever there's some problem, I usually escalate it because of my impulsive limbic system that's developing right now. Um, so yeah, our emotions are impulsive, out of control. I have a video on what to do if your life is out of control. Okay, so stop playing the blame game. Okay, start with yourself. That's number one. Number two. Okay, so it says, if only I could get my parents off my back, I might be able to live my life. Your parents have lived your life before you. Technically, they're ex-teenagers. Okay, retired teenagers. So they had their teenage years and they've learned some stuff from it. And the stress of wrong decisions, it has driven people to do crazy things, like even suicide. Okay, suicide rates are going crazy. So I think we would all rather, okay, and actually, I don't mean impulsively, no, I want to learn myself. No, we would all rather learn from our parents' mistakes so that we don't have to face the consequences that they had to face and learn from. It's so much easier to just learn from a formula than develop your own formula. Okay, y'all? Just like if I were y'all, I would like really like whenever my mom has some wisdom to share, I literally enjoy it because my mom, I can see that okay, she is successful, and really honestly, she wasn't a bad teenager at all. So she actually shares, tips for success with me more than don't do this. She says, yeah, so actually you should be asking for those gems from your parents' lives because it's just so much easier to live the flip side of it and be cautious of things that trapped your parents when they were a teenager. So yeah, that's number two. And number three, I might be able to live my life. So as I said before, a life that is wasted is a life not worth living. And if you're going to waste your life in learning from mistakes that you could easily have prevented through parental discussion and, wisdom, then yeah, that's a waste of whatever years you're going to spend in that. Just, you can really, really bump yourself higher if you just listen to your parents. Okay. It seems they are constantly nagging me and I can't ever seem to satisfy them. So one thing that I see in a lot of American households is you don't talk a lot. Like, you talk to your friends at this extent, 5 hours you can go on the phone. But like on the family table and movies and whatever, and even at friends' homes, everyone's like just stiff, no talking. At our house, that's the time for joking, talking, everything. Like, family dinner time is awesome. Okay. Um, Thankfully we can get it every day, but yeah. So you just have to simply ask them, what do you want me to do to become satisfied? Like, for example, you know me, okay, I'm your kid. What are my biggest flaws that if I change, my life will be better, okay? And everyone will like me more. Unless you have really bad parents, then they're going to tell you something, okay? And if they say too much, then you have to sit down and do something called meditation. Y'all, this sounds so funny because meditation sounds like the whole yoga. It's not yoga. You're not doing anything. You just go in a corner of a room that's so dark, turn the lights off if it's the daytime, because you don't want to get distracted, okay? And you just think about yourself. Is there some category that all of these negative aspects are fitting into? Is there a root of the problem? You just have to kind of contemplate on your issues to find a solution that will do a one fits all. Okay, they're constantly nagging me. Just realize, why are they constantly nagging you? It's because you're not nagging yourself. A big problem in this American society is that we have this thing of deflect toxicity. Sometimes toxicity can change us, and we just interpret toxicity as toxicity because we don't like correct argue. I don't like to be corrected. Okay, nobody likes to be corrected. So just understand that, this toxicity that we're presuming is toxicity is actually just correction, and we should probably listen to it instead of deflecting it. And that's what you do if your family is a disaster. Like, that's all I have. Number one, um, go ahead, look at yourself, be the change you seek. Number two, ask everybody around you just to make sure, you're fixing the right things. Ask people around you, okay, what can I do to become better? And number three, the whole thing about parents nagging me and always trying to tell me things and whatever. Okay, listen to what your parents have to say. I'm telling you, you will find at least one good thing from it. And if you don't come to the same conclusion they came to, like, for example, if they say, oh yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, when I was little, I would, I don't know, sleep too much in the morning, so I lost my teenage babysitting job because I would come late every day. If you think that, no, you didn't lose your teenage babysitting job because you slept too much in the morning, it's actually because you were on social media at night, so then you needed to make up somewhere, and you made up in all your sleep, jet lag, and the babysitting time. That's why. Then great, you just made your own conclusion. Okay, just get the stories and drive your own conclusions or use their conclusions, and you can really, really change. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. And yeah, the thing about nagging, just do it yourself. Do you know why they're nagging you? Because you're not doing it yourself. You gotta do it yourself if you don't want them to nag you. So yeah, that's all. Have a nice day. See you next time.